I am owned by no one or nothing.
Feels good, doesn't
We
it?
also call that unemployment.
Yeah, there's that. There's that. There's that.
Yeah, welcome to the pod, everybody. We have a large group here with us today and a really lit Brandon.
Oh, it feels so weird.
He is,
I'm worried.
James gave him some snacky poos we call Zins or Zimbabwe's, and they hit hard when you're drinking. So anyways, we got Tim here, Tim Connor from the Tim Connor channel. We have, obviously, James from Bow Disciples, myself, the unemployed contractor. We have Brittnie from Brittnie Jean Outdoors. We've got Josh from Podium Archer, and we got Brandon McDonald from Brandon McDonald's channel. I think that's the name of it, right, Brandon?
Perfect. That's
Yes,
Brandon
excellent,
McDonald.
excellent.
Yeah, amazing.
Coupon code BMAC.
That's right.
The ultimate purpose of this podcast really is to just make Brittnie talk. Brittnie did a live recently.
This looks awkward already. Like the look on your face is so bad. Come on.
Yeah, in
Relax.
which case she
Come
met
on.
this man.
It's okay. It's
And,
okay. Relax. It's all right. You're gonna be fine. Don't throw up in the cup.
She'd never met stars before, you know.
Stars.
You're a star. You're a
Jesus.
star in my eyes.
Okay, so no, this is interesting. This is an interesting concept that you just like because you've never met stars before.
Stars.
But she's clearly met your boyfriend, who has more followers than I do. Like, wow, what a fucking cuck response! Oh my god! Oh my god! Like you just said that.
She met
For
one
realsies?
star before, and it's this one. And he's
That
a lot
was-
of stars,
that was
you know?
adorable.
Like,
That was adorable.
yeah. So anyways, we're trying to make Brittnie talk because she said about 2 words in the whole podcast, or the whole live, as she's doing right now. So we're
I
going
would like to think if
start.
somebody else was in the room, they probably would have prodded you a little bit.
Prodded me?
Well, let's be realistic here. Like, what got you into archery to begin with?
A man.
A man, and how long ago was this?
Over
What
13
is
years.
34 minus 21?
13.
13.
Wow, that was very fast.
So
Well,
fast.
he's got gifts. We won't talk about what those are. Let's keep going.
Okay, so 13 years
13
ago.
years ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And
Feels like
at
a
that
long
point,
way.
you'd never fired a bow or seen a bow, etc.
No.
Now, so there may be a debate of how far back this goes. When did you start with archery?
Well, you could call it 12 years ago then.
Oh, so she was before you.
Yeah.
She was, yeah. Yeah, she's got a
That's
year
why
on
she
me.
got into it.
Fascinating.
Yeah, so we have a really fun picture. If we can find it, maybe we'll pop it up right here in the pod.
Cool, clip.
But of the first time I ever shot a bow, and that's where we learned immediately that I was left-handed. We had to put an eye patch on my face. What's
Now,
that?
tell me,
We're
Vader, what,
looking at B-dunks over here. Sorry.
Are you roasted? You're so roasted.
It's not about me.
this hold on, let's talk about this. This is what too much stimulant and too much depressant combined looks like. All right,
Plus,
so
my soul's being ripped apart.
Ah, yes, so
it's all right.
Brittnie introduced me to shooting, and
Oh,
then
fuzz. Is that
Thank you. No, it feels so.
it was all uphill from there. But ask Brittnie
Right.
some more questions about, like,
No,
yeah.
Coming
yeah.
out of where were you
Oh,
girls
okay.
got
I know
hosting?
this. I know this is all your
They're
stuff.
supposed to be hosting.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, but-
Well, we need all the questions.
Yeah, but we're
for
gonna get
Brittnie.
her to talk. So we're gonna.
Yeah.
Talking leads to hosting.
So 13 years ago, you met a guy and you were all smitten. I'd imagine. Yes,
Yep.
yes, and you just threw yourself into archery. What kind of bow did you shoot back then?
a Bowtech Admiral.
Bowtech
Ironically.
Oh,
That's a pretty heavy bow for a shorter draw like you might
Yeah.
have.
Yes, yep. Yeah, it was very heavy.
Yeah. What was your first like shooting experience? What did you do?
What did I? I know I got into like the 3D archery pretty quickly.
Should we like cover this person's name, or do we want to not talk about this?
Oh no, you can say this person's name.
was-
He's still out there in the world. He's still living and alive. His name's Alan.
Has
Does he
died.
shoot
Yeah.
archery?
Zalin?
Is he into that?
That's crazy.
What?
I
Zalin?
thought she said Alan. I thought she said Alan.
No, I think it was Zalin.
Was it Alan?
It was not.
Yeah, bro, Zalin.
Was it not Alan?
We can call him Zalin, but it was Alan.
Was Alan? All right, so
Alan?
that's a very much white name, so we know we're dealing with a white man.
Yeah.
All right, cool,
Yep,
gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Is he still into said things?
Yeah. He likes to hunt, and that's how I got into it. The first hunt was a turkey hunt. I think that's kind of like what drives the whole addiction to turkey hunting a little bit, maybe.
Do we still have an amicable relationship, or
Yeah, we still talk time to time, mostly about just like hunt stuff.
turkey hunting? Because you're into turkey hunting.
Why do you say it like that?
Because it's turkey hunting.
The face he makes when you get a track
I'm sorry. It's insulting for me because at some point I need to accept that this is a form of hunting that matters. But to me, it was like killing a rat on the side of the road.
No.
Yeah, no, not big. But
I do
sorry,
somewhat
I'm sorry.
agree.
I apologize.
Oh,
I don't agree. I don't agree.
Let's just move past that. Sure.
I think if you ever struck off into the mountains and harvested a turkey, you know that well you've been on a real hunt. You know what I'm saying?
Says the guy who sleeps in and eats a nice fat.
Well,
but
when I do strike off, it's into the hills though.
Yes, at like 10:30. Okay. So. All right. So, how long was that circumstance or relationship, etc.?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
With Zalin?
How far down the
With
road?
Alan, yes.
There's Alan. How far down the road did we get in the level of seriousness in that circumstance?
Oh.
Am I supposed to not talk about this?
Is he gonna put those
Are you
on?
listening to music?
I took them off. I didn't realize they were on my head still.
I got him. Yeah.
All right. So
I
anyway,
wasn't going to listen to the conversation.
We got a guest of the pod coming in.
Yeah.
Big entrance. A
Very
very
look,
big
look
entrance.
who's here.
why are what? What's wrong? What's wrong with this?
A very big entrance.
No, nothing wrong. No.
Look at
All
No.
right. So
Man with a dump truck.
everyone's starving, right? Me too.
Anyways, yeah, so it got very serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we have like marriage discussions and things of that nature? Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like?
And what?
I'm just listening.
Well, what? That's so funny. What caused this train to go off the rails per se?
I would say that I was probably.
Good job.
I'm not sure. If I had to reflect, I would say that I was young, dumb.
You know, there's a third part of that we all know that you might not, that you don't want to say.
What?
Full of cum.
Full of cum.
Oh, I never heard that
See,
before.
like I
My goodness.
Oh my god.
You've never heard that?
No.
This pod is
So the
unbelievable.
loins were frothing at this point, I'm imagining.
Oh my
Is this how
god.
the podcast was supposed to go?
Was that supposed to
We are all right. We are all
I can't get my shit together.
That's all right.
Send it.
Take a break, buddy. You're good.
I'm there.
Yeah. So, anyways, we'll get back on track. But yeah,
I thought we were nailing the track.
Dodds. Right here, baby.
Oh God!
Right
Sit
here.
down, front and center.
Yeah, in here.
Put
Yeah.
your head right here.
Come.
Yeah.
We have a
Come.
new member to the podcast, Mr. Dodds Doozies, who's a full-time film and creative director for Mr. Mfjj. Absolute legend. I'm a big fan.
Can't we
So
just
he's
scooch
joining.
a tiny bit and put them right here in the middle?
You could.
Oh, sure. Let's
Good.
scooch
Well,
a little
well,
see
bit.
him over all the
I feel
beers.
like he's
Get
gonna be
up.
like breaking his neck to turn and.
You don't think you can see him over all the beers?
Well, here, I'll hold it. You move. Got it.
Oh,
Come on
man,
down.
I got his ass in my face.
I got a big dump truck.
It is a big dump truck.
Yeah.
It's like legit
Massive dump
African
truck.
American derriere.
Dairy
Tell us
air.
that one complimented
Yes.
it, so.
See, if you don't say it exactly right, you can't be a racist. So it's okay.
Yeah.
So, Brittany, let me kind of change topic on this podcast a little bit, just because it was wow, bro.
You didn't like my topic?
Early. No, I loved it.
crazy.
Brianna smoked your ass so far this weekend.
What?
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, thank you. What?
Yeah.
That's the truth.
I've been watching, bro.
Money.
Yesterday it was an 18-point margin.
That was
No,
seriously
no,
on a whim. What is
Oh, he's taking a nap.
He's
The silver line's pretty epic, dog.
We lost the
That's
guest,
pretty good.
gained the guest.
So, Britt, how did you feel about logging the L so far?
Honestly, I felt good because I know that I shot better than her most of the
Get in here.
18 targets
Get in
that
here,
we
bro.
participated
Get in
in
here,
yesterday.
I'll come close.
And
Come on in.
you know,
Cuddle in.
that's really it.
So, in your head, you won.
I do feel like had we shot the last 6 targets, that I probably would have
She
beat
did
her.
technically beat her today.
Not today, but
She
yesterday.
beat me today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yesterday, it would have taken you a lot because we had only 5 to go and I was up 18.
Yeah,
Right
but,
back
you
up.
know, there's always
Really?
tomorrow.
We
Yeah.
should probably back up on this a little
I had
bit.
like 4 12s.
How's the
yesterday.
rivalry
Ran,
been
like,
over
5
the years?
zeros.
It's been just like this
Just
all our lives.
nip
all
and tuck the whole time.
Yes.
Like, both like just
Back
nipping
and
each other's
forth.
heels.
Oh
Just-
yeah.
That's why she got into archery, and then it just
It's like a wild honey badgers.
So who's older?
Oh, yeah.
I-
That was a crazy face right there. We might have to crash.
Roommates.
Thanks. Yes, we were.
Okay, let me try to add a little formulation to here. I want each person, and I want to go around the horn, starting with Tim and with Brandon.
Great.
Give you time to think.
I want
like a nice crescendo.
I want everyone
I'll
to
slap you in the
toss
face if
a.
you fuck it up. Don't worry about it.
I want everyone to toss a question in for Brittany specifically that we can go out with. Beyond that, if we would prefer, but the question is initially to Britt. Tim, go
You
ahead.
want me to just a question, interview style?
Yeah.
Get it?
Brittany, I have to lead into this. Have you been to Tennessee?
Tennessee TAC?
Yes. Just Tennessee in general.
Yes, yeah, many times.
Okay.
Such an easy question.
No, but that was just a lead in to understand if she knew the area.
The interviewer in yourself should be embarrassed.
Okay, I'll pop in next.
No, but I wanted to lead into so I could...
Oh, you have more. Okay.
You only gotta get
Yes,
one.
of course. So,
I thought it was a rapid fire, but go
like
ahead.
you
were
want
you
rapid
born
fire?
this
Yeah.
century?
But stick it.
I like to continue.
Hit one
Going,
more.
Tim.
God.
Hit one more.
Okay, I just wanted to know...
Mulligan, Tim. Use Mulligan.
Yes. What's the
something.
vibe on Tennessee TAC? As a first-time person of attendance.
Oh yeah, okay.
One might think a little wet.
It's been very wet, but really never in this house.
My God.
Oh my god.
Woo!
Very succinct.
Great comeback,
It's
Brittany.
hard to know where that's meant to
No, it's
point a
not.
direction.
The audience
We've all been cool, calm, and collected.
Audience knows.
Yeah, it's been rainy and but the vibe has been really good. It's been my favorite Tennessee TAC I've ever done. I've shot this one every year for the last 5 years, except last year they didn't have it here in Tennessee.
Come on, think you got
Okay.
time.
I'll go ahead and hit the next question. Other than turkeys,
Yeah, you woke us.
besides turkeys and whitetails, what's your favorite thing you've hunted?
Besides turkey and whitetail, gator.
Gator.
It probably
Saucy.
would go turkeys, gators,
How
whitetail.
do they take?
Really?
Good.
Turkeys first.
And I want to know, you're allowed to
Turkeys first, I'll
expand.
take
You're
it.
allowed.
Weird as shit, dude.
You're allowed to expound on your question. So I want to ask. I want to ask why you like gator hunting so much.
I think it's an adrenaline rush, not like anything else. When you're fighting, a 1,000-pound dinosaur.
Wow.
Are you in the water?
No.
Like wrangling them?
I mean, you're on a boat, but they're right, they're
Oh, I didn't
2
pull the
feet
line.
off the side of the
Pulling the
boat
line.
beside you.
You
Yeah.
shoot them with basically a glorified harpoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you
Out of a
pull
site
it
with a
back in.
9.2 rating.
Correct.
And
Yeah. A cuckbot rating.
Yeah, you're up, Cal.
Okay, so as the comments have alluded that, and you just confirmed for us all that you are an avid lover of turkey hunting, and the majority of this room thinks that's a little weird.
We shit on turkey hunting? Is that the premise?
Why do you think that people
to me.
think
Powerful legs.
turkey hunters are so strange? Why do you think?
I think as a turkey hunter, I don't know. I'm outside looking, or inside looking out, outside looking in. I don't know the phrase, but yeah, I don't get each of you. I truly don't understand. It's
So
like when
what is it that just amps you up, just really ruffles your feathers, as we could say?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Very nice.
Turn on a phrase.
Ruffles your
Very nice.
feathers for a
Very
turkey.
nice.
I just don't know how you can't be sitting
Your experience.
in the woods and when you hear a turkey gobble, you can
Right now,
feel
you
it
convinced me
inside
to
of
not
you.
try to
Like,
say it. No.
I think she needs to go elk hunting.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you heard of elk view?
No, but I have heard. Ooh, there's kayakers. I have.
Because
heard-
subject change. Woo.
They're just
This
there.
guy's having his own podcast.
Uh-huh.
Seriously.
It's be very hard to edit this sound.
I have heard that if that's something that you enjoy, that you might really enjoy like elk hunting on the next level. Although Brianna went last year, when she finished, she said she may never ever go back again. So
Well, you say that because you're carrying out like 80 pounds on your back, and your knees want to give out every step, and But then a week goes by, and you're like, all right, let's go again. And then 17 years later, you'll draw another tag. But it is, I would say, if you are a fan of like that talking to an animal thing, like getting the turkey to gobble and like them getting closer and hearing it and hearing all the other sounds that turkeys make, you'll probably have a heart attack when you get a bull to come in then, because it is
quite possible.
it's a whole nother level of sounds. Only it sounds like a roaring dinosaur is actually coming at you. Only it's an elk. But yeah, very interesting. Okay, so you can't explain it, but you just love turkeys.
Yeah, and all of the things about why you guys don't love turkeys.
I love
What's
them.
wrong with you all, except Tim?
Except Tim. Yeah.
Well, Brianna, I feel like you're a turkey.
I am, but I wanted to put myself in your guys'
Okay,
shoes
okay.
because it makes sense for the question. But I do love turkey hunting. I think it's because I like talking to the animals, and then they talk back. Regardless of how good or not good my turkey talking may be.
Dodds.
You know.
Question for Britt.
I got two questions.
Okay.
First question: what is the biggest thing that you are currently working on in your shot process that you think needs work?
That's a good question. Probably front back sight alignment with my current setup. I tend to dip a little low where I'm dropping, my peep below my front sight.
So your peep
So-
to housing gets out a little bit?
Yeah, so sometimes I'm not holding quite, But I do think I try not to overthink all of that. You want to get to a place where you're not going through every single little step. There should be muscle memory, and our mind, all these wheels aren't turning. We should just be slowing everything down in the brain, just focus on the shot, the target, the shot.
Nice.
And not so much the pin. But, when you're practicing, sometimes you have to work through these things.
Does any experts have any?
Maybe move your peep up a little bit. Just thought.
Is-
Just
He's not wrong, because I did just put these strings on last week and threw the peep in, and then thought about putting it just a quick tie it, and then I didn't. I was like, yeah, let's just tie that thing down.
You don't have to tie the peep in. It's fine.
Another thing that
Yeah, just shoot
poor
it.
man.
No peep.
This poor man. To fly
Just
out,
shoot it.
fly
No
the bow and hit you in the face.
No tie-in.
You still have a scar from that?
You won today? How did you win today?
another
I'm so good. I'm so good at archery.
Nice.
Another thing that could really help, I think, with the peep alignment, this one's sort of for Josh specifically, but also for you. Nose button. Shout out to Bomar Archery. Put a nose button on there. That's going to raise your head up, and you'll be able to see them.
Do you need boning fletchings on your
Boning as well.
it just being. You shoot a bow tech. You don't. No. Okay.
Black Gold 92.
I see what's up.
Yeah.
Definitely not. She does got the victories already, so I mean.
Yeah, hey, you're happy.
She's there at
Somewhat
least.
there.
Yeah. Thankfully, you guys came over.
Do you want to put the ad placement like right now?
Giant banner. What would you prefer?
This podcast is brought to you by.
Yeah, so you had
Boning
one more.
archery.
Yes, I had one more.
Okay, yeah.
Switching
Like
directions.
3 questions? Whoa, wow.
He said he had
I'm just praying to God he doesn't steal mine. Hey, that was my beer. Cuck.
Here you go, Cuck.
Go get a mildly warm one.
Do you want this in?
No, I do not.
And I'm also going to get rid of Brianna's
After your reaction,
Love on the Spectrum headphones.
This is what happens when you pod it after a pod that involved a whole lot of drinking, I'm assuming.
Okay, second question.
I thought this was entertaining.
What is the biggest, I guess, thing, trade, project, skill that you are currently working on that you are excited to show the world soon?
Also a great question. Wow. I actually just started a side business. It is it's in the box photography essentially. So it's like a photography business, but with a special little niche.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That's crazy because James just started in a closet photography.
That's a gay joke.
I love it. I love it.
I'm totally not gay. It was the other guy. It wasn't me. I'm the greatest straight man that's ever lived. Come on.
Dear
Come on.
fucks.
Come on. Give me the
Only one time in college. One time, give it a try. Not my thing.
You didn't go to college.
Yeah.
I did.
He never won
right.
class, so he can try the gay thing.
I almost passed, but not quite. You know.
That liberal arts degree.
I fought the good fight, though. Oh, I fought the good fight.
Oh, don't worry about it.
That
It's
was
all
my
good.
phone.
Okay, we're up to you.
Mr. Jones,
You're
your
up.
question.
Oh,
Joshua.
do I just get one? Or do I get
Joshua
three?
Nathaniel.
Everybody's had one or two, so you go.
One or two.
I'm not gonna lie. Let me preface this with I'm a little bit nervous because Josh's one question he got to ask on the live. Did anyone stick around to the end of that?
No,
I can't remember.
Yeah, they did.
I'm sure. I'm
Reiterate.
sure the
Let's
fans
revisit
did.
it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So seriously,
Yeah, seriously.
what's your goal with what you're trying to accomplish?
With life?
With the path that you've
Accomplish
So I'm in a kind of a weird crossroads, to be honest. I my day job is at the sheriff's office, and
Which is really a night
which is
job.
really a night job. Yes, and so I had the opportunity to continue to pursue that, move to the road, become an officer or a deputy. So that's a path I could take, or I can continue to pursue this business and the side of just YouTube's really more like a passion project, just bringing education and encouragement mostly to women, youth, and just, good stuff to good people. And then my photography thing I just started, so it's kind of just I'm at a crossroads where I'm just looking and really just doing life as it comes now, and then we'll see where it goes later.
James? Brandon already got answering.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No. It's
Put him
ready.
on shit.
Are
you down less nervous?
The color is coming back to us.
LoadingLauncher.com, discount code BMAC.
That's right. Shibida Shamdin Shibida. Go ahead. No, okay. Do you have any other like bucket list animals that you're interested in trying to hunt? And is it based on what the animal is or the area that the animal is going to be in?
That's actually a great question.
Absolutely it is.
Apparently mine wasn't a great question.
No.
I told everybody else it was a great question.
No, yours was a good question too. I just thought it
I'm
was
confused how we're
similar to
interviewing the podcast
his.
hosts as well. What's happening right
No,
now?
but it was
I
good.
think it's good.
Is that common?
It's the only way to get her to talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Technically, the hosts are right
because
here.
we're gonna turn this around.
I'm just a really reserved.
Oh, we're gonna turn
person.
around.
That's.
Yeah.
Go ahead and answer the question.
Anyway, so to answer your question, just one of those things I've always wanted to do. I don't know if it has nothing to do with the landscape or anything, but caribou to me has always, it's just a beautiful animal.
It's you too, dude.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys share that.
No, it doesn't matter. This is about Brittany.
This is going about this
Yeah.
is
Doesn't
about
matter.
What? But why caribou though? Like
I think
the migration, Alaska. Like what's the thing?
I think because it would be like the biggest hunt I've ever done, and it's a beautiful animal. It would be a new challenge, something really different, and so it's kind of a bucket list item, but not. There's nothing in the works for that right now.
Have you thought about like what type of setup you would use to hunt caribou? Because it's probably a little bit farther of a shot.
Which is difficult because it's something I've always struggled with, because building a setup for somebody with a 24-inch draw length that's shooting 45 to 50 pounds, it's really not difficult to build like a whitetail setup for that. There's a lot of great setups for that. But when it comes to something that you need probably a little bit heavier arrow, nothing crazy, don't get crazy.
What's crazy? Because you're at like 250 right now.
Right. Well, 255 is something I build just to go really fast out here to get over 100 yards. I usually build my hunting arrows like at 320 to 340. So maybe something a little heavier than that, but that also limits distance. So it's kind of like a curse trying to figure out a healthy balance between those two.
What broadhead would you use though?
So broadhead
Yeah,
blades,
on a caribou.
I would always use a fixed blade.
Why is that?
Sometimes. I really don't know, honestly. I've messed around with the years I've been shooting slick trick. And then I almost was going to try something else this year, and after just, some recent stories from other women of similar stature and size shooting those such broadheads, I'll probably stick to
Does
some
it start
form
with a
of-
B and end with an east?
I'm not going to knock it because I've never tried it.
Shout out to Beast Broadheads, one of the best sponsors. Really good product. Go watch my video shooting a blessed bog. Bled like a fire hose, pretty much. So,
So there you go. That's everything.
I think
So-
the right person, right
We're gonna
setup.
flip this around. Now I know you couldn't do this on the live,
I'm not going to be able to
so
do
you
it now.
can take your time because this is not live. So we can edit all day long. We can chop.
I'd
away
prefer
and
not
edit.
to. I'm
You
the
would,
one who
yeah.
edits, so I'd prefer that to not
But I
happen.
don't care, so I'll just keep bringing
There's
this
not an
along
AI
until
for
he's done editing.
No, I wish there was. So we're going to reverse the order, though. You're going to
can
go
ask
from
it-
BMAC
no, I would
to
say
Tim.
she could ask in any order she wants
Oh.
if the questions pop
Okay.
into her head.
Okay. Sure. Question for everybody around the
She has to ask each person here a question.
Single question.
Just
It
one
could be so
question.
lame. Give me
That
something
is
so
something
stupid.
stupid.
Like what brake pads would you use?
No, I do not want you to mail it in. I want good
So
questions for each
Good
person.
quality questions. You've had 2 days of interacting with them. and learning about them and
She
whatnot.
could,
So
she
you
could also
ask
just
some
go by
questions.
what she thinks about each person now that she's spent time with them too.
Yeah.
That's
That-
the easy one. Then you don't have to think about like, what would I want to ask this person? You could just give feedback on your experience, whichever would be
First
easier.
impression.
That is a question, I suppose.
I guess.
Well, first impression is a good one too.
First
Do
impression,
that.
but
Do
the
that.
first impression has to lead to a question, I think.
There you go.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So now you're doing two things.
You don't have to. You
Start
can
with
do
the
one.
one. Start with the one, and then come back with the other. That's
Yeah.
an option.
Let's just
Okay.
enjoy this.
And
one.
just like work your way around the room.
Yeah.
I like Tim's answer.
Yeah, just sit there and enjoy.
Well,
It's not
just-
option,
If you ever
so
tried that, it's good.
Embrace it.
there was a question right there. Just direct it towards somebody.
James, have you ever tried being quiet?
have I?
Great question.
He tried it once, and it was terrible.
Yeah. So I actually
Same
tried
day in
it.
college.
We just
Back in
were,
'99.
so we actually literally just recorded a
one time in
podcast.
college, you tried being quiet.
So we just recorded Josh and Tim podcast featuring Brendan McDonald and myself. And I tried really hard. I set the mic down on my knee and just tried to cross my arms so I couldn't say anything. It worked pretty well for
Worked
about
good
the
for
first
5
Doubt that
minutes.
because every time I came downstairs,
You're
I
always talking. Your
Yeah.
Black Gold pump
Picking
station.
up-
Black Gold gets a 9.2.
So yes, I have tried. My results haven't been maybe the best, but I've tried.
Fair to Midland.
Yeah, sure. 6.2 on results.
All right, here, let's just keep moving along. Let's go with Tim. It just popped into my head. We're trying to do things.
That's beautiful.
So, is your name Tim or Timothy? That's not the question, but I need to know.
is my full name.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's my formal.
Oh, I cannot wait to call you Tim.
Does your mom
forever
call
now.
I
that
called
one
him Timothy all weekend, and I didn't
Timothy.
mention that was
Yeah, probably.
I love Timothy. That's nice.
all right.
That's nice, yeah.
So Timothy, I don't know a whole lot about you, to be honest, and I do know something about you do golf. That's a thing.
Golf is my profession. I teach golf.
Golf is your profession. You teach
Yeah,
golf.
I help people with their golf games.
Interesting. All right. And where do you want that to go? Do you want to pursue more so your YouTube archery interests, or are you steering more towards golf?
Well, that's hard. That's hard to say. They're different things. Golf has been my career. I spent like 15 years doing it now, and like 1,000 hours a year doing that. So it's interesting. I really enjoy helping people. Like in general, if it wasn't with golf, it could be with something else. But golf has kind of like been my launch pad and platform for that. And then YouTube has been like a creative outlet to almost like a side piece, a side team, for example.
Side teams.
But
Good example.
to flex the creative muscle, so I get to figure out how to tell stories and make stories, and it's been really fun. So I try to keep YouTube kind of pure in that way, where I don't think too much about trying to create money or revenue. I try to think about telling stories and creating good ones or powerful ones, and it's kind of nice to keep it pure that way. So I'm kind of living a little bit day to day in that aspect, where I'm not sure where either of them will be in a few years.
Yeah, I can definitely resonate with that. I think also it makes a good point for people who watch YouTube and sometimes get the perception in their head that just because someone's on YouTube, they're trying to make it big on YouTube or make that their job or their career, and it just being a creative outlet.
Can be an option.
Yeah, yep. I don't always have interesting information to share, but I enjoy the editing process, the filming process for other people. So that's very neat. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Is
That was kind.
insane.
No, that was a kind way to like.
Yeah,
Let her cook.
I don't have any questions for you. Shut them up.
You already asked me what you thought.
From so nice to so mean.
Question, bruh.
Anyways, yeah, I don't know that I have any questions for you either. Let me ask you a joint question.
Okay.
Even though
When
I
babies.
already kind of know the answer, but I want you to say it for the world.
When babies.
No.
Oh, what was the question?
When are you guys going to
Make it.
joint together and
Oh,
conceive
Make a plug in a
a
hole.
future little
We know you're waiting for marriage.
motorcycle?
Yes. Of course.
Oh, a future motorcycle.
Baby bows.
Our answers may differ on this,
This is
one.
good because I can feel James starting to squirm.
Yeah,
This is interesting.
Actually, you might be saying that, but we would be squirming
In the different direction.
an opposite direction of what you're most likely thinking. James could pop out a baby tomorrow, i.e. I have to do the popping.
James is a vagina.
But I, not so much. I am in the search for employment. James travels every other week. We live in a 900 square foot condo in which the other bedroom is an office, a storage room, a podcast room, and a spare bedroom when people are visiting. So where we'd like to put that child, other than like in a Foot Locker box in the living room, yeah, I don't know.
When they're small, can't you just put them anywhere?
Yeah,
They honestly,
Like,
yes,
Yeah.
is the answer.
put them on the side of your
I love decorating too much for that,
You
so
just
it
figure
needs
it
its own whole room. Yes,
I think
correct.
Brand has some valid points. James, how do you feel about those points?
I think they're good points. Of course, I am definitely, I'm a big fan of James Jr., so I'm ready.
JJ, baby.
Exactly.
whatever happens.
JJ.
JJ.
I'm good, but we'll see. We'll see what the good Lord blesses us with, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I would love it. I'm a new uncle, right? So
It's really driving his
baby
first
Bowen
child.
is 6 months old, my brother's child, and I love
You would
him
think it's James.
to death. Right? Like, I love him so much, and I'd be really excited to...
He loves me more.
I don't think so. But I'd be excited to have that situation for myself. So if it happened, I would be pumped up, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, great, wonderful.
I will say, just caveat that we had Ludi. We were a one-income home living in a 700 square foot.
Well, you're a braver soul than I am.
It takes bravery, it does, but it really does.
Were you living in the state of California?
I was living in the state of Montana.
Bozeman, Montana, which is very expensive.
Bozeman is.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar to your, what do you
So- and I would
My
just, I don't know, I would
outrageous
encourage you to understand that there's never going to be a perfect situation to bring in a new person. And I know you two well enough to know that you guys would figure it out and do a fantastic job.
a great one.
Yo.
And that's where the podcast transitions, and we're going to consummate this relationship on the boat side.
That's on the Patreon. Patreon.com.
subscribe.
What a
Our
question.
name given to me by the state of Tennessee.
What a question across the bow. I loved it. I love getting into the nitty. I felt like Brendan McDonald.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I love getting into the nitty gritty because this is fun. It's more life. Shout out to Drake.
Yeah, and Brittnie still has 3 questions to go here. So
I just think it's important that when people are watching you, they know that you're human beings and that what you do in your lives and who you are. That you're not just these internet celebrities. Everyone wants to shake your hand and kiss your forehead.
Sign titties as well. For me
titties.
personally. Yeah, but anyway.
Sign your
Duh.
titties.
Man
Probably
titties.
never.
Never happened.
Hey, I have great
Never.
chiseled backs, okay? Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, moving on. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
What is your favorite thing you've ever filmed?
Oh, me.
Yeah, definitely you.
Yeah,
I
good
Questions, by the
agree.
way, Brittany. These are great, by the way.
Very good.
All good questions, bro.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that actually is a tough one.
You're welcome.
I know it's hard to think about it.
For him, it's probably a horrible question to try to get.
I've done some so talented.
No. It's just
Favorite place
he,
you ever
he
filmed?
thinks a lot
Oh.
deeper about it than most.
Favorite place I
Desert.
definitely filmed was the Deseret in Utah. That place is a freaking.
What were you filming there?
So I was filming Dan on a hunt there. I got stung by 25 wasps.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
We can go back next year.
I know we're going. I'm
Yeah.
not hunter.
Eventually.
Anyway,
That wasn't
no,
supposed to be a
it
secret.
really is. It's a beautiful place. It is like I wouldn't say the top tier, but it is a mecca for elk hunting. You walk into any drainage, it's a bugle fest. Like you see bulls fighting in front of you. It really is a magical place, and I pray that everyone here gets to experience it one day, because it is truly awesome. It's a great experience. I'd say the coolest thing that I've filmed, honestly, I am a deep thinker.
He's a deep thinker.
Cameraman fanatic, locked out.
Take 5 more minutes. It's fine. The podcast listeners love this shit.
I love silence. Let's not
Insert
happen.
commercial here.
Yeah, this is where your commercial
Beast
goes.
Broadheads. Shout out to Beast Broadheads. Omar Nose Buttons. Bowtech. All the guys. Thank you.
Black Gold, don't forget about Black Gold, man,
Black
too.
Gold.
I will say we'll have to do episode 2, like Ask Me in a Year. However, something I'm currently working on is Mountain Dads episode 1. And it really is a mission to just showcase awesome fathers stepping up to be better fathers. And like, for example, I interviewed one of my best friends and his father, and they are adventure partners. They do everything together. And I was able to interview and document that experience and that bonding and how powerful it is for the greater good of not only the father, but the next generation of his son. And that's just true real life journalism storytelling is something that really gets me fired up. However, we'll be doing a lot of that at Podium in the next couple months, so stay tuned for that as well. There you go.
Yeah, well, I asked that question because I think people should know about that.
Now,
That's
obviously, the Matthews Lift X, bow review, because Josh and I made a lot of money on that. So.
I was like, this is so deep and beautiful.
Really?
Page fills.
Plug your own shit. Out of the bus? Wow.
MountainDads.com.
Oh, yeah, don't forget. Get it in there.
But there are.
Yeah, how many, you got any discount codes lined up yet? Just pass them out like candy?
Yeah.
That's what I do.
All right. Really good. Great information. Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely.
Right.
Why do I have to keep following Jeff?
Just stay
You're
tuned.
going to seem like a shallow.
I know. Exactly, right?
No. Okay. So there's a couple questions. This phase, a series of these. How long have you been doing? Let me back up. Did you do anything before what you're doing now that didn't have to do with archery?
Nope.
So you've always done archery.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do that forever? Till the day you...
Yes.
Good. Okay. Good to know. You have children.
2.
And you have children.
2.
You're going to have children.
Two
Two.
at the same time. In a
Tim,
small
you want-
Oh, if I could only be so
Yeah, I would
lucky.
like children, but I have a nephew right now. Who's great.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet, wonderful, great. Did you take over the business from anyone?
I bought my father out
You bought
13 years ago.
Okay. Do you want your children to work in the archery industry? Do they have an interest in that? No. Is there a reason why you want them to stay out of it, or?
Specific, yeah.
Oh, do you want to share?
It pretty much ruined my relationship with my dad until I bought him out and he could step away from it.
It's
It
interesting.
was a very adversarial situation for probably 13, 14 years. I couldn't be in the same room with him when I wasn't working. I didn't want to spend any time with him. I couldn't be around him. And then he had a quintuple bypass. Let's see, what was that? Like probably 14 years ago, 15 years ago. And then he came back to work with an immense amount of energy because he had blood flow issues, right? So he was weak and tired, and having a hard time, right? And then he came back and then had this, like, he was a very controlling human being in general, micromanager, that kind of guy. Like, he'd have been at home in a 1920s factory, like, no problem. He'd have made that thing by treating everybody like garbage, right? And he came back, and there was about a month of that, and I told him I was fucking done. I was like, I can't do this. Like, I know way more about this than you ever thought about knowing, and I'm not working for you. So you can either be a silent partner, or I'll run it for you in that scenario, or you can sell it to me, or I'll go do something else, and I really won't give a shit when it is. But I cannot do this anymore.
That's interesting because it's not the first time that I've heard a scenario where a man and their father had a fallout over, or an argumentative relationship over hunting or archery or something in the outdoor sporting world in general.
Well, I think men in general are pretty competitive, right? And I would like to think that a father wants to see his son, which I wouldn't know because I don't have a son, but I would like to think that a father wants to see his son exceed him. Mine did not like that. It was more of a conflict. Every time I learned about if I was better at something than him, he got shitty about it.
Yeah.
Like, we stopped shooting baskets when I was like 14 because I had to beat him. He stopped shooting bows with me when I was like 15 because I would beat him. So he just had the wrong mindset, which I never had that with my own kids. But granted, I never had a son, so I don't know if I would react differently than that. But it was a definitely adversarial thing for sure. And when I was excelling better than him at the field that he chose to use, fortunately he hit a point in his life where it got just too difficult for him to function in that regard. So we kind of been away from him. But when he came back to it, it was like a massive conflict. And the bright side of things is when I did eventually agree to just let me buy him out, which also took over a year to come to an agreement on, which was nuts. But regardless, the last 9 years of his life, because he passed away like 3 years ago, well, 3.5, like the dates on him, somewhere around there. We actually were able to have a good relationship, and he was a very different person. Like it wasn't conflict, it wasn't adversarial, and after he almost died the first time, right? I think he reassessed life in general. Like the initial reaction is live your life the same way, and then all of a sudden you've got all this extra energy, right? So it turned out to be a greater thing than I ever really positively could have hoped for. Because if that never changed, I wouldn't have had the same fondness for my father. Like I would have probably been like, well, he just never he was never happy. Nothing was ever good enough, and he died. Right? As opposed to I appreciate who he was. I'm grateful for who he made me, and how hard he pushed me and how hard it worked. Right? Because he turned into a different person.
Yeah. No, I completely I get your perspective. Obviously, not from I haven't lived your life, and I'm sure that was not easy, especially for the duration of how long that you went through that. But I think there's a certain importance of coming to respect your parents or your elders and being grateful for the life that they've given you, even if it wasn't the life you exactly imagined or wanted it to be. That's how you get to where you're at.
You can't appreciate life without heartache and pain. There's
100%.
no way around it. There's no way around it, and you have to embrace those things at a certain point. And anymore, I look forward to those moments.
Oh, I can see some shit going on right here.
Oh, I know. I saw Brittnie.
There's some underlining.
Over there.
There's some underlining shit right there.
I heard your story and was like, that story sounds familiar.
But you still have
one
more question to go.
No, we've got one more question
right.
though. Yeah, so
Then
we'll
we can
divert.
talk
We'll divert. Maybe another time. Maybe in 2 weeks.
I might weave around into this.
Go ahead. You can do the Trump.
Let's see. We got so deep there. I did not thank you again for sharing that. Sorry if that was difficult or whatever, but however.
It's not the first time I've shared.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah,
Ask me like
especially shared it before. No,
It's not like it doesn't hurt.
what my favorite fast food is or something. Like
Something shallow.
So you quickly change the subject.
What's your favorite color?
Taco Bell.
How you liking this in, Brandon? That's a good question.
I just woke up. Dude, that put me on my ass for like 10 minutes.
You want another one?
No.
Not more than 10 minutes.
I told you that yesterday. Bad idea. Okay. I don't know.
Okay, I have a question for you then.
No, Brandon, no.
This is not how this works. You gotta let her go, and then
All right,
you
quick,
look
I'll
up.
ask you a question.
Let her marinate.
Let's see. Let me think back. What is the favorite thing that you've ever harvested?
Red Stag, New Zealand.
Ooh, I really want to do that.
Yeah, but it was because of the adventure, like in general. So getting to like go to a completely new land, and then we did a road trip through the entire North Island, and then getting to harvest it, and the people that we were with were
When you
like
say
Red
that,
Stag.
I've always wanted red stag in New Zealand to be like my honeymoon hunt, or axis in Hawaii, or turkey in Hawaii. One of those.
Not turkey. No, please pick something that's worthwhile. Not some trash bird. Some trash bird.
It's not a trash bird.
That white bill.
Hopefully the Airbnb host doesn't watch this and see Bill thing on the pod live.
Trash bird.
Well, it is.
All right, well that's it. I made it through, everybody. Thank you for sharing.
Brittnie, you did a good job. I want to say that I'm impressed. You did better than I thought. Every question was fire.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
And they were all good.
Yeah.
So B-Dubs, you had something lined up for this lady.
Well,
Get it.
I'm curious because I felt like when Josh was telling the story about his kind of growing up, I'm curious how both of you guys ended up doing something that's really unique, I feel like, for women in general, which is hunting and archery. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious about, in particular, like your experience with it, because you seem like legitimately bit by the bug and really like into it. So I want to hear how that happened and like what the influences were.
The hunting? How we got to there?
Yeah, like hunting and archery. Yeah.
So, like I said, like I was introduced to it by someone that I was dating at the time, and it's.
But pertaining to your family, was there anything with
no,
your
our family,
zero?
No, zero at all. They never hunted at all.
They just grocery stored it the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
No guns in the household. Nothing like that at all. And it is an interesting question to me, because when someone asks it to me, I don't always know the right answer, because it truly is like a phenomenon to me. When I sat down in that turkey blind, like I will never forget the feeling that I had when turkey started coming in. I mean, my heart was beating out of my chest. I could barely breathe. My hands were shaking, like an adrenaline rush I've never ever had before.
You need to go hunt elk.
Yeah.
Now listen, if she gets bit up by a turkey that way, I think that's freaking cool.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. But if that
a
situation reacted to you in that way, you should probably.
And it's never changed, but it's a wonder to me, the same way that when I picked up a bow, it was just addictive. I couldn't put it down. I needed to know everything about it. I needed to be constantly getting better at it. And sometimes, my whole channel is about trying to encourage people, and, I will meet women who come into the archery shop who have tried it and just don't love it. Hunting, no, would rather stay home, make breakfast before their husband comes home, and great, more power to them, that's fine. But that's just not me. So I don't know, it's not necessarily, wouldn't say that it is exactly for everybody. Everybody is different. But Brianna and I reacted to it the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, and James has agreed with this in the past, like, he just loves archery. He loves shooting his bow, having fun, like, people he gets to hang out when he does it and whatnot. Like, he will tell you he's okay with doing his one hunt a year, and that's going to Arizona and hunting mule deer. And if he had only that and could shoot his bow the rest of the year, he'd be perfectly fine. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, when are we going pig hunting? When are we going turkey hunting?
So it's actually the killing of an animal,
Really?
Or is it your interaction with another live creature, or like explain
what part of it gets you?
Mine is, I think, more so yes, I can't speak for everybody. Like, you have a drive to want to harvest the animal, to fill your tag, whatever. But it's more so like the day to day. I love being, like, if I could, I don't want to say be a homeless person and live in a tent, because I wouldn't want to do it in LA.
You can do that. It's very easy, actually.
Apparently, you get
But if I could go, like,
Especially in San Diego.
Yeah.
Subsidized.
But if I could go spend months, like, I loved the show Alone, where they just drop them off and you get to just live outside.
Alone's a good.
Oh my god, I don't have the skill to do it, but I would love
Would
to
you do it by yourself, like genuinely alone?
Yeah, like
Really?
I just
You wouldn't get
enjoy-
lonely. You wouldn't.
You see me put headphones in to, like, ignore people.
That's facts.
You don't get to bring your head.
That's facts. Yeah.
My social meter only goes so high, and it's microscopic compared to James's. I enjoy solitude. I enjoy quiet time. And when you go outdoors and you go hunting, so much of it is quiet time. Mm-hmm. Like, it's time to glass. It's time to stalk. Don't make noise. Like, yeah, you just have to, like, survive on your own. Other than when you're being guided by James. Then, you just follow along, and then the animal's right there.
Mention the sponsors. Mention the sponsors.
These broadheads, Bowtech, boning.
But so me, it's not so much the animal for hunting, but it is just the hunting
Black gold ripcord
itself. And so anytime there's a chance to go hunting, to go outside, to don't care what animal it is, I'm over here like, and me, I'm like, oh, this would be, more like videos for the channel, like diversify, not just solely archery stuff. So I'm like, let's go. Mm-hmm. Let's go. He's like, oh my God. He's like, I've had enough this year. I'm definitely more so not the skilled hunter of the two of us, but I'm the one who wants to go a lot more. And James would just rather, he would be A-okay just going down Morley and, you know, shooting his bow. And to him, you could say, which maybe is a good thing, like that's just as exciting to him. And maybe that's what, like, it doesn't drive me to want to, like, get more accurate with my bow. Like, I know that if I continue shooting, I will, and, you know, I'm good enough now where I could harvest something, so as long as I maintain that skill, you know, I have a good chance of harvesting something. So, like, I only find so much excitement in, like, just going out and shooting my bow in the backyard before, especially, like, doing target stuff.
No, she doesn't like indoor.
I make it, like, 6 out of 10 rounds, so I'm like, I'm out. I gotta go.
Yeah.
This is boring as shit.
Yeah. So I'll say this about Brianna real quick to piggyback off that. She's a very good hunter, for sure. Like, she's super talented at hunting.
I'm probably better at hunting than I am at shooting my bow.
Definitely. And you're not a bad shooter, but your hunting is excellent. And I have helped a lot of hunters, and she's got it. You know, some people have it, some people don't. She's got it. And it's really cool to see. For me, it's a little bit funny because I love to hunt. It's what I think I'm best at in life, actually, is like mule deer hunting, spot and stock, something like that. But I'd be perfectly fine going on a 30-day hunt and seeing one mule deer and having one chance and getting it done. Whereas she's more the type that would like the Africa hunt that I did, where she's getting opportunities over and over and over, where for some reason that just doesn't resonate with me personally as much.
I just want to go out there. I want to find animals. I want to see, like, when you get to see, oh my gosh, like when you go see mule deer in, like, the rut.
Nothing.
And they don't know you're there.
Yeah, you're watching
observing this
the best.
Or like once we played,
ecosystem,
was it a fox with a raccoon or a fox with a?
Man.
What?
We saw 2 different species of animals playing with. No, they were just playing with each other.
Yep.
But we were on that, so it makes sense you went that way.
I'm trying to remember the story.
Yeah, they were on a rock, and it was a fox and something else, and they were like pitter-pattering around.
There's 2 foxes, if
was
I remember
it 2
right.
I thought there were 2 separate types of species.
I thought it was 2 fox, but it was fun because they were messing around so crazy, and another one.
But you just get to see, like, the wildest things, especially Western, because you glass everything, so, like, you know, you end up seeing Bambi running around chasing Mom, or, you know.
I was going to tell the story about that coos deer we watched doing laps, just running a track.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it's so fun, you know.
That is what excites me. Like, you know, it does suck a little when you don't see any animals in a day, or you see a few. But so this coos, we're glassing, and we've spotted these deer, a group of them, like they're probably a mile and a half away. So they're kind of small, but you see this one just go running. We're like, what is this deer doing? She runs like she's going up to the ledge in the Lion King, the rock.
Yep.
And pew, right off the top of it, leaps like 20 feet in the air, jumps down, doesn't stop running, turns around, comes back, does it again. Never stops. Just keeps doing donuts, sessioning this rock.
Yeah.
It's like the deer, this coos, had the zoomies.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
awesome.
how often do you get to see a deer do this? Like, just, it's full of happiness, running in circles. It's so excited about jumping off this rock. It did it for like 5 minutes straight. And so, it's like, you get to just see the coolest things when you're outside. And when I'm inside, it's mostly just like, do work for James on the computer.
Miss his life in general.
Yeah, it is.
Which, by the way, shout out to my biggest sponsor at Brianna Curley 91. Huge piece of the program, and she kills it all the time.
Sacrifices a lot of her money to not get paid to do her job.
Yeah, she's a savage. So.
Brittnie, do you feel the same way? Like, does some of the things that she's saying resonate with you, or is it different?
Yeah, to me, it has nothing to do with the actual kill part. It's not being obsessed with that. Some people I've met, it truly is. It's like they want to kill stuff. And I feel awful every time I kill something.
Oh, I cry.
Yeah, yep.
I literally go up and say I think you could probably go watch almost every one of our videos where I harvest something.
Yeah,
and I say I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's so
when I
weird.
walk
It's a
up.
weird thing.
I pet it every time, and
yeah.
I say I'm sorry, and I usually call it like a baby or something. They go, oh, you're so soft, and it's like I'm talking to a child, but I'm talking to a dead child.
It's getting weird. Yeah, I don't exactly do that, but I do. You know, it's a weird feeling to know that you just took something's life to kind of propel your life. You know,
your own life.
Yeah, yes, but that is the
that's
circle of
reality.
life. That is the way. Yes,
It's reality.
Yep. I wish more people understood that. That there's still an appreciation, though, like the way that she described it, for wildlife and for conservation. And so it's all of those elements for me, making sure that this exists for everyone, for after my life and after my children's life and after their life, because the way things are going right now, that's not the case. So yeah.
Could you shoot paper? Like, could you do target?
I do shoot outdoor 3D. I also absolutely hate paper. I
Really?
think it is trash, boring.
I think it's fun. I love it. There's something about it I love.
No, it's interesting because I felt like maybe there'd be a little bit of a differentiator between the two when it comes to Vegas.
I'll finish.
bases.
If I start, that's the only difference is I'm going to finish. I'm not going to do this boring for 30 minutes and finish at round 6. Like, we're going to go to round 10. We're going to know where we finish, but I absolutely hate it.
Okay, interesting.
Interesting. I personally love shooting indoor. I don't know what there is about it. It's like just
Which is semi new to you.
very new. I've probably in my life done maybe 10 rounds of Vegas.
Something that's cool you've taken to it.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it. But Brandon, I'm kind of curious. As your friend, I think your mind would love indoor. Am I right about that? I think it would.
Yeah, because like to me, you're just testing yourself against a thing that's just yourself.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, the analytical part of my brain really like the itch gets scratched with sitting there and figuring out like what it is, because it's a balance between gear and environment and then the mental game and trying to kind of get all that stuff put together so that you could shoot like a true 300 round. But then I also wonder like these anomalies of people that I view as like, I don't understand why Bodie Turner can do what Bodie can do as an 18-year-old kid and just inside out
30 in a row.
Yeah.
Without anything.
But I just don't
Many times in a
understand.
row.
It doesn't make sense because it's entering into a classification inside your brain that I think every human has, but he's opened some door to something.
Very few can touch.
Yeah, but that's why I want to know is like, can I go into that? But it's the same with people that are like elite hunters, or like, why do you have a passion for turkeys and I have a passion for bear? And I wonder what those different kind of, just like why is that a thing that gets you so fired up? And I could give a shit about turkeys.
And I could give a crap about a bear.
Can you say give a shit? Do you swear? You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes I do.
Oh, don't let her fool
Yes.
you.
Brittany,
I have a
just
strict
rip a cuss
policy.
word just
No.
in the pot. Just say fuck.
No.
You don't have to. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I do. Nobody. I do curse a lot. You've all heard me
When?
curse this weekend.
I have not.
You did.
Yes, you
You
have
know what?
liar.
I have not heard you.
Lies.
You'd
Me
shoot
fair.
a 12 and you'd be like, fuck yeah, under your breath. You were so excited. But when you'd hit a 5, you'd be like, darn.
So on my channel, there is no cursing allowed.
Okay.
We're not on your channel.
No F's.
Well, you can always edit
But
those
still.
out.
So
Is this yours? Is this on your channel?
no.
If you
but-
say
Bo
put a
Disciples
bleep
Podcast. Shout out to Bo Disciples Podcast. Be sure you subscribe. It's newly monetized.
Discount code BMAG, podiumarcher.com.
With my camera, I might add.
Literally everybody else has equipment. Tim's tripod, your camera.
Hey, I have my mic. Look at my mic.
He's
Just
melting.
a missile.
It's held together
That's
like
all
duct
good.
tape. It's not even Scotch tape.
Yeah.
Also, there is.
To be fair, it's electrical tape. I just want to be clear
Yeah,
about
that is not electrical tape.
It
It's
is.
white.
The white tape.
It's faded.
What electrical
If
tape?
you go look
is
at
white.
it, it's not white. It's just faded that bad. It's clear. That is electrical tape.
That is
I
the
promise.
color of masking tape.
Yeah.
It's not masking tape.
This
I understand that, but
this
that is the
boring.
color
That's
of
not
masking
I'm sorry. I had it
Yeah.
wrong. It's fiber tape. I'm sorry.
Okay, that I agree
Yes,
with. That
yes.
looks like
Fiber.
that could be fine.
I'm sorry.
Ted's a big fan of
My
fiber
tape
tape.
take was incorrect. It is fiber.
Tape
Fair
to tape.
Anyway, so to get back to the topic, enough about the tape.
I love fiber
Yes.
tape. Shout out to fiber tape.
Shut up, you tell.
Yeah, so I think that there is something to be said about leading by example a little bit. So when you get to be an adult and you want to make your own choices, and you want to curse in private or amongst your friends, that's fine. But as like being a
A role model?
And a young one
Or
at that.
nasty
And that's
boy.
the only time you're ever going to hear me call myself that.
Nasty boy.
I think it's and a lot of the time I'll get comments where like, "Oh, my daughter watches you because you're a female archer," and then it reminds me that like kids watch me.
Yeah.
And so that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why you're not going to hear me say.
Yeah. Well, don't do it. Don't do it.
Basically,
That's,
as an,
that's what
I think
bitches
that's
do.
great.
Don't.
as an adult, you get to choose your level of nastiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you get to make your own choices.
It's like the spectrum. There's all levels of nastiness.
And all levels
From
of love on
your
the
very
spectrum as
little
well.
to yeah, I love that show, by the way.
Shout
I
out to Love on
resonate
the
with them, and
Spectrum.
I'm
Here we
okay
go.
with that. I've accepted it. Like later on today, I'm going to go put those headphones back
Oh,
on,
yeah.
and then I'm going to turn
As
my
soon
book
as this
on.
podcast is over, that book back on.
Full form.
In her book goes,
Yep.
as I graze her. Yeah.
It's like correct.
Oh, God.
This one's actually about dragons.
And they're
Dragging his nuts across their face.
His forked tongue across my that's it. Brittany, you know what? I respect that a lot, and actually, it's a thing that I struggle with what like Josh and I do the podcast, and I struggle with it a
But
bit.
I think there's
Is that why you guys have a
different.
swear jar?
Yeah,
Yes.
but I also like the last one we did. There was $2 in the swear jar. Yeah, well, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I do know that like meeting kids today at the TAC, I was like, oh man, dude. Like there's people that watch us that are not the group. It's not us watching us. Like there's a lot of other people that are watching us, and like,
And
Yeah, I
sometimes
just
it
think-
falls on parents for censorship. You can't do
Oh,
everything's
yeah,
not just
exactly.
marketed to
it's-
kids.
There's a medium, there,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
you can go into it thinking
When go
okay.
ahead. No, you finish. Sorry, I interrupted you.
You're just going. You have to go into it thinking what eyes are going to potential come across this, and I think that's a noble thing that you're trying to protect.
I appreciate that, and on the same or the opposite side of it, when two grown men sit down to smoke cigars and have a drink and do a podcast, you're not thinking,
Parents
is there a
should
couple
expect
watching
that
this?
this is probably not for their 10-year-old child.
Yeah,
So-
so it's
so
not
I-
all on us.
like on our channel, we don't really cuss. Like if you notice, we hardly.
but I don't find y'all to be like very cussy people.
No, not in
James much less than me.
But
Yeah,
what I
very.
will say is, I always appreciate what I call the Seinfeld humor, where I could watch it as a little kid, because I did with my parents. I would watch it and think it was funny. But then as an adult, I rewatch it and go, yo, this is like whole nother
That's a
levels
sex
of
joke right
humor.
there.
Right.
That's how I
Like, that's-
kind of approach our humor on our channel, is like, I want jokes that the parents are laughing about, but the kids are laughing about something different.
Yeah.
But it's still clean.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my approach, if that makes sense.
I like being halfway out of frame actually, and I want to look super crazy and fat.
Tim is adjusting cam. We have the legendary Tim Connor. It's very cinematic.
That better?
Tim and Dodds
that all right?
Boozies are next levels on this.
get that.
And Tim is adjusting them.
Are we shooting in 720p? In
hope not.
25 frames per second?
I
Yeah,
do-
I mean, you gotta tone that quality camera down to shit.
Yeah, thank
so
you.
it looks right.
Thank you. I do.
There's a James setting in there.
Thank you. Yeah, put the James setting on. I do want to, real quick, while we're on this
Most basic
podcast,
setting we have.
1000 shutter.
I've been plugging sponsors the whole time. Shout out to Beast. I want to give a shout out to Mountain Dads, because I really like Dodds a lot, and when he described what he was doing to me, or not to me, he described it to me.
Yes.
Okay, different sentences.
And you.
I really liked it, and I think the whole thing is dope. So I want to be sure I plug them and check it out. And there's going to be a Father's Day sale on mountaindads.com.
Yep.
So check that out.
Did you have to say plug-in? Was that necessary?
It was, yeah.
So, Dodds, you got plugged on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
How was
appreciate
it?
that.
Oh, was
Did
it?
you enjoy the plug?
Yeah, it was great. Great plug.
Is it?
I'll pay you.
Wait a minute, is this the Plug Talk podcast?
It
You're
may.
getting paid for plugging people.
There's been an awful lot of plugs.
No, I don't know. I know what we're about to get into if that's where
Oh,
we're
speaking
going.
of which, Brittany just learned in a different sense of what the word plug means. There's
Oh,
multiple
God.
meanings of the word plug. The one we were just discussing, or the one we were just discussing.
Yeah.
Or, I said to her, I go, Brittany, do you have a plug? And she's like,
Yeah, I often need an interpreter to understand the two of them. I truly sometimes do.
or
not
she didn't understand lit like a bit.
guys.
What are you talking
Can
about,
you just
bro?
say though? Can you just ask
Exactly.
them? Can you just be like, I need clarification?
I will. I'll ask the other
Okay,
one
good,
to clarify, and sometimes then they'll respond with clarification that also I need clarification for. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
You just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Just end up asking
Oh,
for
a
more.
whole bunch of unclarified clarification.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So Josh,
Yeah.
one thing that Britt wanted this trip or in Pennsylvania or a Bonus Steps Challenge several times.
Discount code.
She wants to do a video. She
we
wants
cannot give out another one.
a pump station. She wanted to. She wanted to do a video with you, kind of giving her an archery lesson and breaking down her shot.
Sure.
So on the podcast, separate from that video, so go watch it if you're watching this. Off rip, what do you notice about her shot that you would maybe try to get her to change a little bit?
I didn't see anything that jumped out at me, but I wasn't also thinking about that.
Yeah.
That's normally something that I would approach if somebody asked, but I try not to judge.
Yeah.
Is the reality of it, because there's no really wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
If you can do it the same and you can duplicate it, it doesn't matter. Which is reality. But if you want to have, so I have no problem.
Yeah,
But nothing was glaring to you.
No.
I did notice something. You need to be taller. So, like, I don't know what we would do about that. But
I've been praying for that for a long
back in
time.
Florida. So
No, I saw nothing that like jumped out.
Stood
And
out.
like, why are you doing that? I didn't see anything like that.
I do have one thing that jumps out at me about her shooting, but I'm gonna
I
wait.
bet you do.
I'm gonna wait till your guys'
Just
review to
slam
see
the
it.
trigger hard enough to do it.
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
So I think that you move your head out of the way when you draw because
Oh,
you're
yeah.
scared you're gonna punch yourself
Yeah.
in the face.
And I don't know where that comes from, to be honest, because I only punched myself in the face one time. It was probably 11 years ago. I was
That'll
shooting
stick
an
with
index
you, though.
release that failed.
Yeah.
And
Or
that's it.
you might have hit the trigger when you drew, possibly.
It could be.
It is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's never. I mean, I shoot hinges now, back tenches, thumb. I've never punched myself in the face. I don't know what. Brand asked me the other day, and then I drew my bow back, didn't move my head out of the way, and I said, "There, is that better for you?" She's like, "Oh, that's fine." It is a weird muscle memory thing that I do.
Shaves time off your shot sequence, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can avoid doing that.
That would be
Yeah,
my
just
only
like
thing.
the-
That's the only thing I noticed that like really stuck out.
because I
And your
noticed in the
form's
video
cool.
of the kid that
Brittnie has
you sent
great
me, she does it too now.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to say her name.
Yeah.
But yeah.
see, I feel like I moved my face out of the way because I've punched myself 3 times hard, ripping the D loop. But I also feel like when I'm leaning over, it's a flexibility issue. And so for me, and I don't know if that's for you, but like I feel like I draw overhead more. And so
you should, though.
I lean it out and then I come in.
Yeah, I do feel like it was a habit that
That is
is a bit excessive
Sure it is.
now.
Yeah.
That I taught myself, not intentionally, but when I re-taught myself my draw cycle a couple years ago, and it just sometimes had to work out on my process.
Well, this is actually a great topic that you two can for sure relate to. I'm not sure about you guys, but they both used to draw.
Cross your
Oh,
head.
the under.
This way.
What? There's a lot of women that I find do that. That's
So
so
they
interesting.
both used to do it.
both.
Yeah, when Brandon and I started dating, I told her flat out, I was like, "Hey,
Like, I can't
you're,
teach her
you're not
to
going to
do that
shoot
shit."
like that around me, so we're going to relearn how to do it, right?" But and then shortly after, because these two are very competitive, Brianna learned how to do it, and she learned how to do it. So I want to ask you guys, what was that process like to relearn the
Miserable.
draw
It's
cycle from
absolutely
here
miserable.
to here?
What?
Well,
How did you start that?
Wouldn't you at least want to know why they did it that way?
Oh, sure.
No.
That and then why did you change, and what was that
Oh, I
process?
can
like?
tell you why they did it that way.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm curious for you to go first to see if it's the same thing.
Well, if you're new to archery, so if you do reps, your bicep feels stronger than your tricep. And how they're drawing is with their bicep, not their tricep. So when you're drawing,
You just naturally feel like it's a stronger, which it is.
when you're
muscle,
drawing with
but-
your elbow over your shoulder, which is better for your shoulder, mind you. I'm not going to hit you, I promise. I won't have follow through. But when you pull back in this direction, you're pulling with your tricep and your shoulder and your back, right? Well, when you pull like this, pull with your bicep, and then you engage your shoulder
And kind of like upper shoulder muscles.
and upper
Yeah.
shoulder muscles.
Yep.
Traps out.
Right? So when you're early on in this, your bicep feels stronger than your tricep. Right? So that's why they're pulling next. They're probably trying to pull too much weight without technique.
Yeah.
Which is tough because if you're going to try to hunt as a woman, you're typically starting with maybe.
You're trying to pull as much weight as you can.
Yeah.
You're trying to pull as
Because
much
you're already
as you
struggling.
can.
You're already struggling with.
Yep,
food,
and because
Yeah.
there's legal limits in a lot of states, there's a requirement. So yeah, that's 100% it. And so when I teach kids, I teach them that exact same phrase: don't pull with your bicep. We need to engage more muscles. There are more and bigger muscles in our back, in our shoulder, and our triceps than just using our singular bicep. So I bought a little Quest, and backed it way down to 20 pounds.
G5.
Yep. And I just every single day in the months of June and July, and I would just a teeny quarter turn every time. I would notice that I could pull it back with no issue. And that's how I taught myself. It was a little frustrating. Mostly it was because string angle. It was just different than what I was used to shooting. Didn't have anything to do with the form.
Oh, you mean the Quest had a different string?
Yeah, than
Got it.
my bow at the time. Yeah.
But you literally intentionally thought, I'm going to bring my draw from here up to here ultimately, and work it up.
That's for your ankle.
Yeah.
I came into a physical issue. I was starting to draw so much weight that I would shoot, for one day. Yep, and I would start to get this pain in my neck where it was so cramped that the next day after shooting, I couldn't turn my head.
Do you know why?
No, I have no clue.
Because you pull the load back with your bicep, and then when you rotate your shoulder, it damages your neck.
Yeah.
You can't pull that way. Like in the long run, where you always have to keep your elbow over your shoulder when you're drawing your bow, even if you have to back the weight down. And if you maintain that, it'll only take you a week or two, and you'll pull more than you would ever go with your bicep.
Yep.
Because your tricep and your back and your shoulder are stronger than your bicep.
Sounds like something I teach my kids.
Which is how you want to approach it. You want to keep your keep your elbow over your shoulder.
Yep.
That's all you got to tell. Your elbow stays above your shoulder the whole way, no matter what. Then you're pulling with the right muscles.
I just think that example is like a really common thing, to Brandon's point, that I've seen men do it too, for sure, but definitely more women.
Yeah, the gay ones for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that I think it's cool both you switch, and I know it took work, but I
Speaking
feel
of
like
gay,
now
don't react
I feel
that
like it's
way.
worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, that's got to
worth
feel
it.
good. I can feel that tension.
I think everybody should do it if they're,
That's right.
Physically.
Yeah.
It's better.
Yeah.
And you have Theragun.
Tim, you've been quiet.
I'm stretching on.
I'm just listening to you guys. It's okay to listen to.
I have another question for Tim. Tim, how
I'm
do you...
typically, if it was listen or talk,
Yeah,
I'm okay to
well,
listen.
he's sitting so close to James. How do you feel about James's haircut?
James's hair. I mean,
Ooh, that's good.
James, coming from a family full of hairdressers, I think that there's just a haircut that would depends what you're going for, but I think there's a haircut that would fit your skull that might be quite nice.
Not this
That's
one.
Not the one he has. Not the one he has.
I love the fact that
I'm so
James
happy
can
it's
go out
back.
with whatever this
I'm
is
so happy for
that no one else is
I love the
doing,
mullet.
and just be proud.
And the voluminous.
Oh, yeah,
it's like,
Proud to look like a
if
fish.
you like it, that's great.
But I also do feel like what Tim says is probably right.
But what someone else thinks about how you look doesn't really matter, It's like it's your thing, it's your style,
So I'm very inspired by Matt Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold, the front man. That's kind of what inspired the haircut. The Life is But a Dream haircut he has is fire. I saw it and I went, that is super hot fire.
Now,
And
mind
I
you,
wanna
that
do it.
man's hair is about 8 inches plus
In the
longer than
back.
James's currently. We got years to go.
We're
with
gonna
this.
go there though. I'm gonna get him on some
better.
prenatal vitamins and give him girl.
I
And
have
maybe
some hair
you want some
growth shampoo
prenatal
and
vitamins as
conditioner.
well. It'll be both. I'm just
We'll
saying.
share that when that
yep.
time comes.
Yep, exactly. No, we're
I
there.
like
now.
if you're gonna go mullet to go even shorter on top to accentuate how much of the mullet it is.
Yeah,
Now
actually,
it's like
could
a
you
half
shave
mullet.
back maybe a little bit on the dome, like maybe halfway back on the top?
It's kinda
George
long and
Costanza,
low.
the Colts.
Might be
It's kinda-
better. It might be better.
It's a little bowl
Might be
cut
better.
to mullet
Could be.
right now.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what we got to do.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean the top has the bowl shape and it's
Yeah.
for the mullet.
This
So I
is what
get-
I keep trying to tell that's not a mullet yet. Like, and he keeps calling it
It
a
is
mullet.
certainly
It's
on
not
its
a
way,
mullet.
Brianna. It is.
So I
It's on its way.
It is.
For sure.
So I did rock a legit bowl cut for most of high school in Dickies shorts, and I was trying really hard to get women and had very little success. But
I believe it.
years gone on, the scales tipped different ways,
Oh my
and
God.
we had a good run. And we
And now I've got
full mullet and all the women that I can.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know, but this podcast is absolutely electric. So I've really appreciated that. Definitely, if you get the chance, subscribe to Connor Tim YouTube channel.
Connor Tim.
Or the
McDonald Brandon channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Archer Podium and Disciples Bow, as well as
Jean Brittnie.
Archery Jean Brittnie Outdoors.
Just Jean Brittnie.
Outdoors Jean Brittnie channel. And Doozy's Dodds.
Doozy's
That's
Dodds.
mountains.
Yeah. Do all of that, and
That sounds.
and we appreciate y'all. You got anything else to say?
No, it was a fantastic pod. I do think Brittany opened up quite.
She
I mean,
did.
it took
She
about
did.
2 hours, but about hour in, I think Brittany was just a natural.
She was.
So next up, we'll be a live at some point where you're on the spot. But yes, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Watch all the way to the end and tell your friends because I finally get paid. Small
my
dollars. Yes, it pays my internet bill.
It's better than no bill.
But no, and go subscribe to Mountain Dads or follow on Instagram, right? And go check out the website because it is some of the women, the cutest t-shirts.
They're gonna
for
make
your
great
neck.
gifts.
They are going to make great gifts. Women are going to flock to it like I do to clothing stores.
Which isn't great if you're a wife purchasing it, unless that's what you're into. But, everyone can make their personal choices. Dodds, you had something you wanted to
I
say.
did want
Yes.
to say. I wanted to say that every single person here on this couch is pursuing their passions in some way, shape, or form. And obviously the Bow Disciples, that you guys are pursuing your passions in the awesome, unique way that you guys are. And I just want to encourage any of the viewers and everyone in this room to continue fighting that good fight for your own passions, because life is too short to not live out those passions, those ideas, those dreams, those ambitions. Because I guarantee there's a lot of people on this earth, on this earth that wish they would have taken that risk, wish would they want to go on that hunt, wish they would have started that business or that YouTube channel. So if that's you or anyone on this table or couch, keep doing it.
Ooh, I'm inspired right now. I feel like Tony Robbins on here. Yeah. But I also do want to say, when you say we have our own unique style, is that mostly low budget? Is that what you mean?
You've been doing that in 20 minutes. I'm actually going to clap back at that. It is not low budget. It is you.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Unskilled.
The-
Lacking in technical proficiency.
Like I'm saying it.
the beauty of storytelling and the beauty of social media is that it doesn't really matter what it is as long as it's you.
100%.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that try to not be them on the internet, and people see right through it. And I'm actually going to be really sad when I see really good, high quality stuff.
Yeah. He just Dodds saw the Africa videos popped up and just passed them.
Man, he started watching me. He's like, "Oh
That's
no,
all
the
fancy quality.
pacing's great.
The
colors
dad
are
cam is
beautiful."
gone.
No, I will say,
I'm so upset. It's so good.
yeah, real quick to respond to that. Someone hands me a DSLR, you might as well give me a Rubik's Cube, but I have no idea what's going on. So, but shout out to everyone here. Shoot them a follow, and we'll see you in the next pod. You.